everyone, welcome back. This is my review of The Legend of Korra, Book 4, Balance, Episode 2. Okay, now I really enjoyed this episode. This was a really great episode, I felt. A really interesting episode as well. A lot of interesting things happened in this episode. First off, the title of this episode is actually called Korra Alone. I believe that's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, a reference to a particular episode, don't remember which one though, in the original Avatar The Last Airbender series, which was called Zuko Alone. And it followed the same basic format. In that episode, if I recall correctly, Zuko was basically wandering on his own, searching for his true purpose, okay? Searching for himself, basically. And there was a bunch of flashbacks with him and whatnot. And that basically mostly is what this episode was about. Korra just wandering alone, trying to find herself again, while having all sorts of flashbacks to kind of tell us what happened to her a little bit in the 3-year gap between the two series, okay? So I thought that was really cool, how they did that. Now, in terms of the flashbacks, there was a lot of interesting flashbacks. First off, she went back to the Water Kingdom, the Water Tribe, as we already knew, and she ended up meeting Katara there, and Katara tried to help her heal, but Katara basically explained to her that she can't, Katara can guide her to being healed, but Katara actually can't make her fully recover. That's purely based on her, and you can definitely see in great detail how frustrated that Korra is getting when it comes to basically just walking. And walking is such a basic human function that we kind of take it for granted at times, but when you have someone who's lost the ability to walk, which I believe they're trying to hint at that it was kind of psychological in Korra's case, because I don't think she got beat up enough to where she couldn't walk. I think it was actually a psychological thing, which is why she couldn't continue walking again for, 2 years or more. Okay, but or not 2 years, but for a while, like 6 months to a year, okay? And it's such a basic human function that we tend to kind of take it for granted, but it's, when you're someone who literally lost the ability to walk, you kind of understand more. And I thought they did a really good job at explaining that here, that, she's really frustrated. She even snaps at Katara once, and, apologizes immediately afterwards, of course, but since Katara's a lot older now and a lot wiser now, she forgave Korra because she could probably understand what Korra's going through, okay? So, and there was also another one of the flashbacks where she arrived in, I was about to say Empire City, where she arrived in Republic City, greeting Tenzin, and she had a little conversation with Tenzin where, right after she failed at firebending practice, basically, where Tenzin explained to her that, you have to slow down. You have to gradually get better, which is kind of the same thing he's been trying to tell her the entire series since it started back in 2012, which is, you have to go slow with this. You can't take things fast all the time. It's basically just a paraphrase way of a paraphrase thing of what he's been trying to tell Korra the entire series, okay? Hold on a second. And there's a few other flashbacks as well, but those are the two that really stuck out to me the most in this episode. Okay? And the end of the episode I really liked as well, because Korra met Toph, finally. Korra met Toph again. Or, not again, but I really like this introduction into Toph in this series. We haven't seen Toph in so many fucking years. Except, in Season 3 we saw her a few times in flashbacks, but in terms of, in real time, we haven't seen her in so many fucking years. I really like this introduction. Her personality, for the most part, seems to be the same. She seems to have, that ornery attitude that she still had. When Korra asks her if she's the person that Korra's supposed to meet, she's like, I don't know. Or something like that. And that reminds me of, the ornery attitude that she always had in Avatar The Last Airbender, which was really cool. And, and she kind of let herself go, too. Okay, if you look at her. She kind of looks like an evil witch, like you see in a lot of stories, which, I mean, that would kind of go with her character, I guess, because Toph never really cared too much about appearances, because she's blind. So she never really had to, but that's really something, she obviously's never seen herself. But that's something I really picked up as well, so I really like the introduction to Toph in this series. Overall, also, I do have to mention, Mako's letter really sucked in the, when he was writing his freaking letter, seriously. I doubt Korra cared, because Korra cares about all her friends, but still, it's just something really funny that I picked up on, because even though Korra tends to have these, serious scenes here a lot, especially in this episode, it does like to break up the monotony with a lot of funny scenes as well. Not too much to really make you fall on the floor laughing and change the mood entirely, but stuff to lighten up the mood, and that was definitely one of them in this episode that I really enjoyed. But overall, The Legend of Korra Season 2 I thought was really good, okay? It was a really good episode. It definitely progressed the plot, and finally, Toph has always been my favorite Avatar character, okay? She always has, and I don't know why exactly either, but she's just always been my favorite character, okay? I've just always loved Toph, to me, she's always been up there with Katara and Aang as, my favorite characters in the series, and maybe Zuko as well. So, yeah, but anyways, though, fantastic episode. Once again, I cannot wait for the next episode, and really, I think this is why I thought that this should have been a double feature last week, because what one hell of a cliffhanger that this would have been, you know what I mean? This would have been one hell of a cliffhanger if they would have had this as a cliffhanger last week, but it's a cliffhanger this week, I guess, so to each his own, I guess, but still. But anyways, if you have yet to see Korra Season 4, Book 2, Book 2, Episode... Let me try this again. If you have yet to see Korra, Book 4, Episode 2, I definitely recommend that you do. It was a really great episode. So anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.